Town Council meeting for July 21st of 2026. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231 PL 1975, specifying the time, date, location, login, or dial-in information, and to the extent known, the agenda by posting a copy of the notice on the municipal building, the municipal court, and the 2 municipal library bulletin boards, municipal website, providing a copy to the official newspapers of the township, and by filing a copy in the office of the township clerk in accordance with a certification by the clerk, which will be entered in the minutes. There will be public comment periods for both remote and in-person attendees separately. Each member of the public shall have only one opportunity to speak during each public portion. As the technology does not allow us to know if there are multiple callers on an individual phone line or logged-in user account, we ask that if you wish to speak, that you log in or dial in separately so that we can recognize you as a separate individual. Should you have any further comments or questions, the town council is always available by email and phone, and you could always call the mayor's office during the normal operating hours. Well, I'm not going to say Miss Cedar. Jennifer, can you please call the roll?
Of course. Councilmember Cahill.
Here.
Councilmember Carmichael.
Here.
Councilmember Espinosa.
Here.
Councilmember Leibowitz. Councilmember Rashid.
Here.
Councilmember Ern.
Here.
And Council President Lombardi.
Here, and would everyone please join us in the flag salute? Number 5 is comments from administration and council regarding adjournment of any matters on the agenda. Do we see any? Seeing none, we'll move to number 6. Number 6 is open to the public for comments regarding items number 8, the consent agenda items. Again, it's just the open portion for the consent agenda items. For each public comment portion for remote attendees, if you wish to speak at this time, please raise your hand either on the Zoom app or if by phone by pressing *9. When it is your turn to speak, you will receive or hear a request to unmute yourself. Please click the prompt or press *6 on your phone to unmute yourself. At this time, please state your name and address and know that you have 3 minutes in which to make your comments. The council or administration will respond if necessary after you have completed any comments or questions. We're now open to the public for remote attendees.
Council President, I'm asking the first attendee with their hand raised to unmute themselves, please.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. My name is Sarah Radford. I live at 13 Dunbar Ave. I just have a quick question. I feel like maybe I'm not understanding where to find information about the items in the consent agenda, because like what's listed in the agenda online seems really vague, like saying things like, you know, waiving health license late fees, approval of corrective action plan. It just seems really vague to me. So am I missing where I'm supposed to find more information about these items?
Is that your only question for the evening?
That's my only question.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to allude to that?
Yeah, the Open Public Meetings Act only requires notice to the public as to the by title on the agenda. All the resolutions are available in the clerk's office. They're usually not drafted until the day of the meeting, and the drafts are still a continuing work product until I get them finalized. But usually you can do an Oprah request for backup if it is available before the meeting, or everything is usually available after the meeting.
Council President, I'm asking the next attendee with their hand raised to please unmute themselves.
Hello?
Hi, good evening. This is Jessica Cradaville, 1247 Brookside Road. Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, hi. I have two questions about the consent agenda. The first one is for item D as in David. I wanted to know, to what matter does the corrective action plan refer? And my second question is for item M as in Michael. What equipment are you receiving from the federal government, and how will it be used to assist residents?
Thank you, Mrs. Cradaville.
I'll answer that question, those questions, Council President. Every year, as you may know, the township is required to have an audit. And in that audit, the auditors review all functions of our financial operations, municipal operations, compliance with state statutes, state regulations, and so on. So the corrective action plan is required. So through our audit, I would like to first of all commend our finance department because through our entire audit of, I would say, approximately $98 million of our budget, there was one item. And that one item that required a corrective action was to ensure proper budgeted dollars for our recreation utility. I just want to point out that a recreation utility is a self-liquidating entity. However, that utility is also used not just by ratepayers. It's used by our residents. Our youth go there after school. They're welcome to stay in the central lobby. Our schools use the swimming pools. We have meetings there. Our OEM office is there. So it's not in the true form of a utility because it's kind of a quasi-utility. And because of that, we underestimated, in 2025, there was an underestimation of operational costs. So now we included all the costs respective of that utility. And that corrective action was put in our 2026 budget. So we are good, and the utility is thriving. It's doing very well. And my understanding is that kids in camp are enjoying it very much. They just had a talent show. And your second question was respective of the LESO resolution. That's a resolution where the U.S. Department of Defense, it allows state, federal, and local entities to receive equipment that they no longer need. I want to give an example. We have, Mayor, I think it's a high water rescue? That's what we're applying for. Yeah. So the high water rescue vehicle, we already have one, and I think the value of that vehicle that we got for free was at least $250,000, if not more. So this allows us to accept whatever surplus that the U.S. Department of Defense is willing to give us, and we continue to apply for whatever we can get. Whatever we apply for free, obviously, will not cost our taxpayers, and it's equipment we need, and it's a good program, and I'm glad that, and I'm hoping tonight that it's authorized because it's something we've been doing every year, and I hope we continue to do that.
Thank you so much for that clarification.
Council President, I'm asking the next remote attendee to please unmute themselves.
Hello, Brian Rack, 1247 Brookside Road. So about that 1033 program, so we have no idea what we're getting. It could be a tank, it could be a box of firearms, it could be whatever. But we're authorizing to participate, or we're authorizing to accept it?
We're just authorizing to be part of the program. So if something comes up that's desirable by the township, we could request it. This isn't like a potluck where, we're going to hand you a raft or whatever, a boat. This is something that there's a process in place, and the government requires us to get governing body authority to enter into an agreement to accept this surplus of equipment, whatever that might be, whatever the township deems necessary that it needs.
So, So would
Did you
that
have-
come back before council at that point? If you pick some equipment?
Council President, if I may, we're trying to apply for another high water rescue vehicle.
Thank you for
Keep
that
on the north side of
clarification.
town.
Thank you. Are you done with your questions?
Sure.
No. Okay. We're closing the remote portion now, and we'll now open to the public here in the building. For each public comment portion for the in-person attendees, if you wish to speak at this time, please come up to the podium, state your name and address, and know that you have 3 minutes in which to make your comments. You may take your seat after the completion of your comments or questions, and the council or administration will then respond if necessary. This is for the consent agenda items only, so anyone wishing to come up for the public portion, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public portion. Number 7 is an ordinance second reading authorizing expansion of utility agreement with the Piscataway Township Board of Education at 450 Rivercrest Drive. It will be open to the public. It's a resolution adopting ordinance. Ms. Johnson, can you please read this ordinance?
Be it resolved by the Township Council of Piscataway Township, New Jersey, that an ordinance entitled Ordinance Authorizing the Execution of an Agreement to Expand a Permanent Access and Utility Easement Affecting Block 10402, Lot 1.01, Kanakamak School, 5205 Witherspoon Street, and property known as Block 7305, Lot 19.02, 450 Rivercrest Drive, in the Township of Piscataway, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, was introduced on the 30th day of June 2026 and had passed the first reading and was published on the Township website on the first day of July 2026. Now therefore be it resolved that the aforesaid ordinance, having had a second reading on July 21st, 2026, be adopted, passed, and after passage be published together with a notice of the date of passage or approval on the Township website. Be it further resolved that this ordinance shall be assigned number 2026-13.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson. We'll now open this to the public for anyone wishing to speak on number 7 for the remote attendees at this time. We are now open to the remote attendees regarding number 7.
Council President, there are no remote attendees with their hand raised.
We're
regarding
closed
this
for
agenda
the
item.
remote attendees, and we'll now open for the in-person attendees for the ordinance number 7. Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Can I have an offer to accept this?
Offer, Councilwoman Cahill.
Can I have a second?
Second, Espinosa.
Ms. Johnson, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Cahill,
Yes.
Councilmember Carmichael,
Yes.
Councilmember Espinosa,
Yes.
Councilmember Rashid,
Yes.
Councilmember Ern,
Yes.
and Council President Lombardi.
Yes, and this ordinance passes. Number 8 are the consent agenda resolutions. For efficiency, items have been consolidated into a consent agenda to be voted on together, and the materials for these items have been distributed to the council in advance of the meeting. Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Motion, Espinosa.
Do I have a second?
Second, Cahill.
Ms. Johnson, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Cahill,
Yes.
Councilmember Carmichael,
Yes.
Councilmember Espinosa,
Yes.
Councilmember Rashid,
Yes.
Councilmember Ern,
Yes.
Council President Lombardi.
Yes, and the consent agenda passes. Number 9 are announcements and comments from officials. Councilwoman Cahill.
None at this time, Council President.
Councilwoman Carmichael.
Would just like to mention the summer concert is scheduled for Thursday at Columbus Park. The Voodoos are the guest band, and it looks like the weather on Thursday is going to be good. So come on out to Columbus Park and enjoy the concert.
Hopefully no smoke. Councilman Espinoza.
Yes, good evening. I would like to just remind everyone that on September 26th, just almost 2 months away, we have the Piscataway Bike Tour coming up. So we've gotten our route. We're going to publish that pretty soon to the public, and hope to see a lot of people there. Thank you.
Councilwoman Rashid.
Hi, I just want to do a reminder for the art contest that is still open. The deadline is August 22nd. The art contest is open to everybody in Piscataway. All artists are welcome, so please make your submissions before August 22nd.
Councilman Ern.
Yes, our Pop Roll program starts this Monday, and I'm happy to say that all levels are full with waiting lists and also cheer. So
Wonderful.
have a great season.
Congratulations.
Very nice.
Wonderful. I do
And we'll go
believe,
from 2 teams to 3 teams in flag.
and I do believe that your Patriot Stadium baseball evening was a very, very good success. Thank you for that. Mayor.
On some of the road projects, Loveguard Street's proceeding. We're expecting to have that finished sometime at the end of September, early October at the latest. Centennial Avenue between Knightsbridge and River Road, we're also expecting that to be hopefully finished by October. Obviously, Old New Brunswick Road's been finished. The other block program where they're going to start milling on Murray Avenue this week. After that, they're going to Richardson, Evans, and then Hamilton Boulevard. The contractor for a curb program with engineering departments over on Sturbridge Development right now, and then they're going to go over to Palisades and then Harold Place, and then they still have one other block of Hamilton Boulevard to do. So that'll take care of it, and then engineering department will be out to bid on the sidewalks on South Randolphville Road down by the back of the cemeteries in that area within the next couple of weeks. So we're expecting that. So we're hoping that construction will be finished up before the winter hits. So we're very productive area. And then on top of all the storm damage that Public Works has been picking up over the last couple of storms, they've been very busy with some of the flood damage and down trees. So that's pretty much it. And I want to welcome the 3 new our cadets, now probationary police officers, that we brought on board.
Business Administrator Paula Cazzarelli.
Thank you, Council President Lombardi. I just would like to say thank you for passing the resolution for the LED fixtures. Right now, we have sodium vapor lights. It could even be, or mercury. You know, I don't know what's up there. They're pretty old. So in any event, we are replacing 8 of the lights, sports field lighting at Riverside Park. So the LED lights not only reduce our electric consumption, they reduce our carbon footprint. Obviously, they're not toxic. They last longer, less maintenance, and less light pollution in general. And then for our neighboring, I don't think there's many residential near that park. But in any event, it helps control the better lighting. I also would like to add, someone had brought up the corrective action plan. I'd like to also reflect with that audit, a couple positives in that audit. The township currently has a fund balance of $40.6 million. That money is used to offset tax increases and whatnot. We actually use $17 million to offset this budget. And a lot of the reason why we have this fund balance is because of cost control. Our department heads work very, very diligently under the mayor's direction to ensure that we are spending and getting our fair price for the products we purchase and the services we receive, so that, and in addition to the amount of grants this township has received. And that I'm going to segue into the fact that we just received a check, direct wire, for $5.2 million from the federal government for our solar project. So, yeah. So we got it. As a matter of fact, it's $36,000 more than the auditor had. I mean, our tax accountant had planned for. So that's super. I would also like to say thank you to our PCTV and IT departments. They have been working nonstop. As you see, we've got a little bit of an set up here. I don't know if you're a Spider-Man person, but in any event, we've got George back here leading the charge, so everyone get on Zoom. We were having a lot of technical difficulties. A lot of that was a result of a software update that totally threw the Zoom module off. So thank you, George and your team, and to Stan and his team for getting us up and alive here today. The mayor did mention DPW crews. DPW crews worked July 3rd and the July 4th holiday. Most of them missed whatever they had planned for July 4th in making our town safe for us and passable roadways. So I just would really like to recognize that as well. And as the mayor said, we were here for the promotions of two of our patrolmen that are now sergeants and are bringing on our 3 cadets. And we should be very proud, or the township should be very proud of our police department. They work diligently, they work hard. We've got some nice young people coming in, and we've got experienced officers that will, I'm sure, guide them along the way. And I just want to make note, along with the officers, August 4th is National Night Out. So that'll be from 5 to 9 Tuesday. It's right where the community center is, where the street fair is held. National Night Out is a night for you to come out, put your porch lights on, take time to get to know your neighbors, talk to each other. You never know who might need help in an emergency. Come out and enjoy all the festivities. I know the PD worked very hard in making this event what it is. So, zip lining this year. Maybe from the municipal building. I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from. From the trees. I don't know. Yeah. And that's all I have to say tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Council.
No comments tonight. Thank you.
Well, as it goes, there's usually nothing left for me to say, but I did want to also congratulate those police officers that were promoted, and congratulations to the recruits that became officers last evening. So much congratulations to them. Also, thank you to the Piscataway PD for graduating the 2nd class of Piscataway Youth Week and encouraging our young members of Piscataway to get engaged and learn what happens with the police department. It seems like a very, very good program, and thank you for graduating the 2nd class of that. And again, National Night Out on August 4th is always a great night here in Piscataway. And if you zip line, I'll zip line too. Okay, deal. All right, so I think we're done with announcements. We'll now move to number 10, which is the agenda session for the August 11th, 2026 meeting. On that agenda will be an ordinance 2nd reading, amending and supplementing Chapter 21 zoning to establish and enact affordable housing 7AH7 zone, and it will be open to the public, and it will be a resolution adopting ordinance. Also on that agenda will be a resolution authorizing cancellation of taxes for 100% disabled veteran status. There will be a motion to accept the report of the clerk's account for June of 2026, and a motion to accept the council meeting minutes for May 14th and June 11th, 2026. At this time now, we will open to the public for the remote attendees for anyone wishing to speak on any matters. We're now open to the public for remote attendees. Please be advised you have 3 minutes in which to speak. Please state your name and address.
Council President, I'm asking the first person with their hand raised to please unmute themselves.
Hi, Brian Rack, 1247 Brookside Road still. I'd like to begin by addressing some of what happened during the previous council meeting. For starters, while it's true some other towns in the county don't have any new obligations for affordable housing, that's because they're towns that either have significant amounts of affordable housing or significant population density. In New Brunswick's case, Piscataway actually paid them back in 2003 to take on some of Piscataway's burden of affordable housing during that round. It doesn't make sense to now blame them for helping Piscataway with affordable housing back then, but not being able to now. There's some other talk about how the state's info about what was buildable was bad and how that was a big problem. The methodology documents the state provides actually talk about this and provide a mechanism for them to be corrected. It's fairly unreasonable for them to expect, or it's fairly unreasonable to expect the state had perfect knowledge about every single square foot of land in every town, and they realize this. One of the big factors driving up Piscataway's number of affordable housing need is the fact that it's number 2 in the county for equalized non-residential valuation factor. In short, that's how much the value of commercial and industrial buildings have gone up since the last round. All the warehouses that keep getting built are contributing to this. Why are we still incentivizing them with pilot agreements and tax breaks? Are there any programs to incentivize owners to convert their existing properties to affordable housing? That's one of the things that Edison has in their affordable housing plan, and they have an even higher number than Piscataway. Are there any plans outside of just rezoning individual properties? That's it.
Thank you. I'll have our council answer that question for you.
So I'm not sure about any contribution to New Brunswick. I was around, but I wasn't part of it. So I have heard us making a contribution to New Brunswick at all for any affordable housing. In terms of the inaccuracy of the land map that we got from DCA, it wasn't just mistakes. It was clear just they literally looked at the satellite map and picked everything that was green. We analyzed it. I think it went from over 300 acres to about 60 acres of developable land. It wasn't small mistakes. That made it, I've talked to the council many times about the process that we went through. Let's just say the entire process was not smooth or in anybody's favor that was dealing with this process. I think it's disingenuous to try and say that it's the township's fault to have to build on every acre that the township has. So.
Anyone else on the remote?
No other remote attendees.
The remote portion is now closed. We'll now open to the public. For anyone in the room wishing to come up at this time, please come up, state your name and address, and know that you have 3 minutes in which to speak.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
State,
James Lang from 13 Kate Terrace in Piscataway. And just wanted to, Mr. Mayor, the members of the town council, with all due respect, where it belongs. I've never done anything like this before in my life, and I really hope I don't have to do it again. I don't come here, so just please bear with me for a minute. Didn't come here to cuss and fuss and make a ruckus. I come here tonight because we have a problem inside of Dorn Park. I grew up there in Dorn Park, and I have no memory issues as to what it was like then compared to what it's like now. And I take my hat off to you, Mr. Mayor, for cleaning it up. You did a fantastic job. When my grandchildren come to visit, I can let them go out into the park with full confidence they will not be subject to the things that I was subjected to growing up in the neighborhood. With that said, back to the problem and the reason why I'm here. Within the past few years, there's been a pickleball court installed inside of Dorn Park directly behind my house at 13 Kate Terrace. Directly behind my house. From the center of the court to my property line, it's 120 feet. When they get playing out there, the sound of that pickleball, made of hard plastic shell, similar to a wiffle ball, but harder, being smacked with a wooden paddle, gets extremely loud, and it's consistent, it's continuous, it's intrusive, and it's disturbing. It disrupts my sleep, waking me up almost on a daily basis, especially on the weekends. Some days, these folks are out there as early as 5:30 in the morning. Some days, 6 o'clock, some days, 6:30. I like to read my Bible and meditate with the birds singing in the morning hours. But with them out there smacking that ball around, not only do the birds all fly away, but it distracts me from having my time of peace. I have files here. Can I give this to someone to?
Give them to the police officer and he'll disperse them. You can continue if you have
Okay.
anything more.
Now, with the state benchmark NJAC 7-9 and the Code Authority, Chapter 3 of the Police Regulations, Section 2, 3, and 2, or 2 and 3, noise. It says, it is declared policy of the Township of Piscataway to safeguard public health, peace, safety, and welfare by prohibiting unreasonable and excessive or unnecessary loud noises that disturb the quiet for response of the township residents. It shall be fully aware of any persons that make and continue to cause or be made to continue to make loud noises unnecessary within the township limits. Daytime hours from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 65 deep decibel level, dBA, during the daytime hours. Nighttime hours, 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., 50 dBAs. Like I said, and they're out there some mornings at 5:30 in the morning. And then some nights they stay out there until 9, 10 o'clock at night. So they're abiding by the dusk to dawn regulations, but they're in violation of the sound regulations. And
Sir, kind of wrap up what you can because you've exceeded 3 minutes at this point. That's okay.
they come in groups from out of town. I've approached them on one occasion, asking them if they could have some common courtesy for the people living in the houses close to the courts, and to hold off playing until at least 7 o'clock according to these rules. I was polite and respectful to them as they were to me, but they felt as though it was okay for them to continue to play. I spoke with the police twice about the situation, but obviously they're not interested in getting involved. And I'm not one to call the police. So what I did was I put together a petition, I got some signatures, and I put together a resolution and brought it here to present to you this evening. To reestablish permitted hours of play from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. And for the courts to be reserved for Piscataway taxpayers only, and anyone from out of town having to get a permit or a pass to utilize the pickleball courts. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for
get a resolution right there.
thank you for letting us know.
Put it into effect. You got my
Mr. Lang, we'll take a look at that, okay?
Thank you for filling us in on something that we were not aware of.
I'm Tracy Thomas from 28 Charles Terrace, and I'm on the park path. I'm joining to that, where they park in front of my house at 5:30 in the morning. Some nights they're out there, maybe he doesn't hear it, till 11:30. Dispatch knows me very well, but like the other morning, I called at 5:45 a.m., or around 5:30. Cops came around 5:45, went down the path and told me, oh, you could stay, just keep the noise down. I have recordings of what that pickleball sounds like inside my home. From my fence line to the pickleball court can't be more than 20 feet. And I'm on the park path, and they're parking in front of my house. And they park in front of, all the way to the corner, and I'm Ryan, all in front of my house. I have guests, they have to park 10 houses down the street. I spoke with the mayor's office. I think her name is Diane. I still have the voicemail. She said she was going to do something about it, but the problem is, I come home from work, either somebody's coming out of Ryan, or I'm coming out of Ryan, and you can't see because the car's got the corner covered and the street. And I've called the township, the police, at least 20 times because they block half my driveway, and then have the audacity to tell me, it doesn't matter, you're one car. Oh, well, hey, my husband and son aren't home right now. It's none of their business. They literally block half my driveway repeatedly. That's all.
Thank you.
Ash Kumar, 7 Simon Court.
Welcome.
So I was here basically to address the rental property which is going up. And in the parking lot, I was told that that's not happening today. And I'm just surprised. Like, how come nobody was there? And I asked Councilwoman Carol Mike, Sharon Michael.
Michael,
Yeah.
yep.
And she said that's not how it works. I don't know how it works. Whatever. I mean, I wish some kind of communication should have been sent out that this has been postponed so that I didn't have to leave at 4:30 from New York City to be here to attend this meeting. Anyway, that's one of the things. So among all the gripes I have, one of the things is, I don't know if you use the tax website, the new one, which went live in 2026. You cannot see the payments made on that website. And twice in 2026, I have seen a quarterly payment applied to my benefit. I didn't pay it, to my benefit. And of course, I brought it to their attention. Alex, everybody knows, the tax collector, he corrected that mistake. And that the same mistake happened for the sewer. But this time, it was against me. He corrected that as well. So, I mean, if anybody who was selecting the software, that's the first thing you do. It's like, you can't see your transactions. I mean, who selected that? Right? I live on Simon Court, Mayor. It'll be very nice if you can repave it. It has not been paved in 35 years. I moved there in 1991. This is 2026. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just wanted to notify, we did, as soon as we knew that we were having to move the ordinance, I did reach out to one of the members of the group of neighbors plus the attorney to notify them that it was being moved, so we could hopefully, they would spread the word.
Well, so we have to look into the software at the tax office to see what's going on with that.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
My name is Nancy Salgado Cowan. I live at 124 Stanton Avenue, Piscataway, New Jersey. I'm here with two positive notes. Number one, I want to thank the police officers on behalf of partnering with the school board in order to have the youth police event that happened, and that was great. And secondly, I want to thank Council Member at Large Sarah Rashid for coming and partnering with the school board and having a watch night for FIFA. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I can just say thank you in return, it was really great to see the match on a really large screen. It was great.
How are you? Afternoon. My name is Jonathan, ex-fireman. I know I'm getting old. I got the bald spot now, so I know they're going to pick that up. I am at 1274 Carlisle Road. I am trying to, I guess, fix an issue that was done in Piscataway earlier this year. So let me start. My name is Jonathan. I was an ex-fireman for Company 3 for about 4 years. After that, I transferred over to the rescue squad. And then after that, I joined CERT, Community Emergency Response Team. And then I became a volunteer suicide counselor for military veterans for New York and New Jersey. And I would like to thank all of you for supporting us. You guys are a huge help sometimes, and we actually do need an extra hand. There is an issue that I'm trying to fix that started earlier this year. It's in Piscataway, dealing with two people working at the bus company. And it's escalating to a point where I believe the police are probably going to end up getting involved Thursday when this goes to Superior Court. So I worked as a bus aide on the short bus for the children who have heart issues and medical issues. That was about January 30th this year. And someone had pulled me inside and said, hey, you're going to be on bus 217. There's a bit of an issue we actually have because the bus driver we know may have problems. And I said, okay, that's fine. I work with people who have issues like that before. The problem is it began to escalate to where kids were being taken out of their seatbelts, put in the front, and they would continue driving. And then after the first incident with the bus driver ended up going at me on camera, my manager, his name is John, at the bus company, pulled me aside and said, hey, he joked laughingly, I thought I told you already, the bus driver has issues with everyone. And then he broke everything down. They had 4 aides before me by January 30th. That meant they had an aide each week for January. You're allowed 1 aide per year, but for some reason, the bus driver can't work with aides. They don't like it. And then afterwards, again, after another incident, he already told me, well, they don't like the job, they don't want to be here. I'm like, that's fine, but we can't take that out on children because New Jersey buses have cameras on them that are there to protect the children, but also watch in the case of an accident. The problem is other incidents happening. I ended up emailing Paula Miller, who was the secretary, and the problem is it began to escalate to a point where it was a huge issue. So after the bus driver ended up doing the last issue, which was we was on the bus, and it was the grand school down there. Someone had actually just mentioned it. They took a child named Zachariah out of the seatbelt, who was very, very young, put him in front of the bus, and then continued driving without a seatbelt. The issue is there are some officers that have children at that school, and I know if they find out that that's their child, they're going to be pretty upset. And so I spoke to my boss about it. After I ended up yelling at the bus driver, we can't do that because they will catch it on camera. That's the issue. So he said, fine, I'll look at the video, I'll figure it out. I was told not to come in the Thursday afternoon, not to come in Friday, Monday, not to come in the afternoon. Then Tuesday, they said, we're removing you from that position. And then I was told you're gonna have to work with another school. And then now they're telling me you still work here, but then you don't work here. The problem I have is that the bus driver may not have a personal issue. They might just be bipolar. But the problem is if you're bipolar, you might not be able to be in that position driving the bus, which is the issue. So if they do have a mental issue, they shouldn't be there. But the problem is now it keeps escalating to a point where I'm trying to get some type of justice because I lost my job, but I was specifically put there because they need a man on the bus. We have a boy named Angel that has a touching issue with certain females. So
Sum up your story just a bit because
I
you've
got you.
exceeded the 3 minutes.
I got you. So all that's happening is I went to the police department to ask for help about the endangerment of the welfare of a child and child abuse, and they said, well, you really can't report that if that person works for the township. And I said, fine. So I'm going to go ahead and draft a case for the Superior Court, and I'm going to do that Thursday, and then Friday I'm going to News 12. I've tried to talk to different people about fixing this and getting some help, but no one's contacted me at all. I did go to the other part, and they just told me, we have lawyers and insurance looked at it, and they're just going to do a payout. And I'm like, that's fine, but they're still working there. So I'll just wrap it up and just read the small little paragraph that's here for that, and that's it. The first one is going to be the violation of the New Jersey statute and wage hour law, 3411-4. Number 2, violation of the Contentious Employee Protection Act, NJ Stat 3419-3 and 19-12, breach of employed contract, endangerment of the welfare of a child, New Jersey Child Endangerment Statute. A and B, attacking the witness of a crime or retaliation or tampering with a witness or victim or informant. Defamation, 28 U.S. Code 4101, hostage taking because I was taken hostage on the bus. That is on camera, and up to now, no one has assisted me at all for some reason. False claims and hoaxes, speeding, workplace abuse and harassment, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, financial retaliation against an employee, promissory estoppel, and unjust enrichment. So if anyone could just pull me aside for 5 minutes to talk to me, I would appreciate that before charges are filed. We'll be going to News 12 Friday to put this out on the news.
Council,
Thank you, sir.
can I ask a question? I didn't-
Correct me if I'm wrong. That is a Board of Education.
Does this has to do with the Board of Education buses or a private
Piscataway Bus Company.
Correct,
They
so-
already know. They already said that the lawyers are going to just do a payout, and I'm like, that's
All right.
fine.
Well, you got 3 members of the Board of Education are out in the public.
So,
You should have a meeting
yeah.
with them outside.
So these aren't. So I'll talk to the police department, but they're not township employees. They're school board employees.
This is clearly a school board.
So this is a school board
Yeah,
issue.
Mr. Rivers here. Who else?
Um,
So out of the board, you have the board president right there. You have 3 members of the Board of Ed right here.
Yeah.
So you can go
So-
meet them outside.
But if you also want to, after the meeting, if you want to talk, we can talk. But I just asked the council, because there's allegations of a complaint, I just asked the council not to make any comments. But I'm happy to talk to you, but I think this is a school board issue, really.
Okay, I have a court draft here if you guys want to.
Thank you, sir. Seeing no one else, I'm going to close the public portion for the evening. And I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Offer.
A second.
Second, Espinosa.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening, and everyone have a safe ride home. Thank you.